Hi guys, thanks for tuning into my channel. So what I'm going to do today is going to give you some tips on how to handle the exam blues. Yes, exam blue affects all of us. No matter how well prepared we are for the exam, we always have that little bit of nervousness, that little bit of jittery feeling before we enter the examination hall. Few of us also tremble before the question paper is handed over to us just because we cannot handle the suspense of how the questions would be and how we will be able to answer the question paper. Now, in spite of being well prepared, the exam blues can be the difference between the 39 and 40 marks or the 49 and 50%. That will ensure whether you have those two or three letters affixed in front of your name or not. So it is very important to handle the exam blues, and I would just be giving some tips so that you can manage it better. So what I have done is I have divided the entire management of exam blues into three parts. That is 1 week before the exam, 1 day before the exam, and on the day and during the period of examinations, so that you get a better perspective of how you need to conduct yourself and the do's and don'ts for the entire period before the exam up till the end of the examination period. So let's start off with the first set of do's and don'ts for 1 week before the exam. Now, 1 week before the exam is a very critical period because this is the phase when the nervousness and the tension actually starts to set in. The realization that in a week's time you will be writing your exams is bound to get a little bit of tingles running down your spine, and that is why it is very important to stay calm and composed. The first thing that I suggest you don't do in 1 week before the exam is to start studying something fresh which you haven't touched yet. Trust me, in a professional setup, if you haven't studied something in the months leading up to the examinations, you are not going to do any wonders in the last week either. You will, in fact, end up spoiling what you have already learned and what you already know because of all the confusion. So, stick to what you have learned in all the months leading to the last week and revise to make them more solid so that at least what you know is 100%. Getting something new or trying to learn something new is only going to be a spoiler for your preparation, and it is bound to get you even more nervous because you start realizing what you have missed upon. So first tip is, do not miss whatsoever happen, do not start preparing a new topic afresh in the last week of the examination. Now the entire week is very critical. You cannot afford to have ill health, and that is why I would strongly suggest that you stop venturing out of your house until and unless very necessary, and stop eating food from outside, may what happen. Let go of all the junk food, all the fast food for this your examination period starting 1 week before the exam. Eat only homemade food, and that to keep it very simple so that you are in best of your minds and in good health. One more important thing is to get adequate sleep in the last week. What most people do is in the last week they are so tense that they start doing night outs and study for long hours, say till 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, or wake up early and take long studying hours. This is going to adversely affect your health, and you will not be able to feel the side effects immediately, but 1 week or 1.5 weeks later when you are actually writing your exam, you will find the difficulties and the problems that have surfaced due to you putting in extra hours. So getting rest in the final week is very important. So these are the major things that you should keep in mind 1 week before the examination. Now we will move on to another critical part, that is what should be done 1 day before the examination. Now 1 day before the exam is like a battle. You really don't know what you should be doing, whether you should be studying new topics for tomorrow's exam, or you should be revising what you have already studied, or you should just let go and sit and relax. It is very important to stay calm on the day of examination so that you can actually write all the answers properly. Now, preparing for an exam is, I can draw a parallel to preparing for a cricket match. No matter how much you have practiced in the nets, if you're not calm, composed, and focused on the day of the match, you are going to spoil it for yourself and your entire team. The same thing holds good with your CA exam preparation. No matter how much you have prepared, no matter how much you have studied, if you are not composed during those 3 hours, you are going to spoil it. And if in order to be composed during those 3 hours, it is very important to be sorted out the day before. You cannot afford to be confused and be all in bits and pieces a day before the examination. So what I suggest you do 1 day before the exam is Try to study as less as possible. Yes, you heard me right. Do not take the burden of studies on the last day. If you have not, whatever you have prepared in all these days should be fine to see you through the examinations. Last day study is not going to add on any new benefit to you. So, for the most important point is do not take the burden of studies on the last day. In fact, relax, try to sleep, and maybe watch a movie in your home or on your television, or just go through some light videos, some motivational videos. Those are going to be of great help to you because this will clear your mind and give you the confidence to approach the examinations the next day. Another important thing is eat well. Now, in tension, what happens is most of us skip meals or eat very little food. Do not do that because you are going to need all that energy on the next day while you are writing your examination. Do not starve yourself. Eat healthy food, eat nutritious food 1 day before the exam. One more very important thing is ensure that you get proper night's sleep. You do not want to feel drowsy or sleepy in your examination hall. So sleep early on the last day, get up on time, just do a quick glance back of whatever you have studied. Do not worry about what is going to happen in the exam. Just stay clear, just stay focused, just stay composed. That is what is going to see you through for sure. What you can also do 1 day before is get all your things sorted, like your pen box, all your stationery items, your hall ticket. Keep them all together so that you are not having any last minute rush during the day of examination. This is going to help you stay focused and stay in good spirits while you write your exam. Now let's move on to on the day of exam and throughout the period of your examinations, what you need to do to stay focused. The day of exam has arrived and you cannot help but control your nervousness, and it is bound to happen. So do not try to curb it or do not try to over think that you are being nervous and you will be spoiling your examinations. Do not do that. It is natural and happens to each and every student, no matter how well prepared they are, and it is bound to happen to you. It is a natural process, so just let it be. But what you can do to ensure that the nervousness does not impact you negatively is have a good breakfast in the morning. If you have your exam in the morning session, it is very important to stay energetic. So have good breakfast in the morning. Now, for those of you who are attempting exams in May, it is going to be very hot, and we all know that. And especially if you have the afternoon session, it's going to be even more difficult because the heat is at its peak. What you should do for exams and afternoon session is firstly have your lunch properly. Do not skip meal because you are going to need the energy during your exam. Do not have food that will make you drowsy or sleepy, like maybe curd or rice. Avoid curd or rice during your lunch before the examination. The other important thing is keep a bottle of say electrol or glucon D handy with you in the examination hall. It will help you rehydrate and give you the energy from time to time. So take a bottle of electrolyte or glucon D along with you in the examination hall. The other important thing to do is do not reach the examination hall 2 hours or 3 hours before the exam. Reach the hall half an hour or 40 minutes before the examination so that your interaction with other students is minimum. I am saying you this with my own experience. Do not interact with your friends or do not interact with other students before the examinations. Most of us will get demotivated. Everybody has their own strategy, everybody has their own thought. And if we start discussing the strategies and thoughts just before the examinations, we will end up feeling that, okay, I have missed so much and my paper is not going to go well. Do not get into that frame of mind at all. Stay focused, reach the examination on 30 minutes. As soon as your room is open, go there, sit down, and just close your eyes and focus on the exam that is to come. That is before the exam. Before the exam, I would also suggest that you replenish your body with water, go to the toilet, do whatever you have to do so that those 3 hours you are completely focused on your paper. Now, because if you have to go out to the washroom in middle of your examination, the focus and the concentration that you have built will lapse and you'll have to rebuild the concentration, which might take some time. So do not do that. Try and avoid. After the exam, what to do? Do not once again discuss with your friends or listen to other people discussing about the question paper. What has happened. Neither you nor your friends have any control over the marks that you are going to get. If you are so keen on discussing the paper, you can do it after all your examinations have finished, but strictly do not discuss anything about your paper with your friends after the exam or during the period of examinations. What is right, what is wrong, just let it be. Do not go back to home and refer the book, textbook, whether what you have written is correct or not. This will get you demotivated for the next day in case you have written something wrong. So do not do that. Go home, relax for half an hour, 1 hour, have something to eat, and then start your revision for the next day's paper. Again, the next day's paper's revision also has to be kept very minimalistic, very light. Only the bullet points or the key points that you want to study, you should be studying. Otherwise, you should not be focusing too much on studying new things. So this is more or less what I had to suggest from an examination point of view, or how to prepare and ready yourself for the examinations and not to get intimidated by what is coming out. I'm sure if you follow these steps, you will have a clear mind, you will stay focused, and you will do really well in your exams. One more tip that I would like to add is, while attempting your paper, ensure that you are attempting all 100 marks or the maximum that you can attempt in the time given. Even if you're not sure about an answer, please do write something that you have learned. You never know, you might get 1 or 2 marks at least, and that 1 or 2 marks might change your life. So this is what I had for how to prepare for your examination. I hope you liked the video, and I would be coming up with more such tips and tricks in my next vlogs. Thank you so much guys for watching. Have a good day and all the best for your preparation.